Everything you need to know to hit the ground running in the new game Arc Raiders. Whether you've been playing since it came out, or you're a new player, or you're just about to download it after you watch this video because it's awesome, there's going to be something in this video for you. When you first start playing, you're going to be in a tutorial. You're going to go through it. It teaches you all the basic stuff: shoot, stand, crouch, jump, all those things. It's going to show you how to have an interaction with another player, and then you're going to do an exfil. You'll shoot some arc. Arc is the enemies in the game, the computer-based enemies, which are like AI robot monster things. Once you get that done, you end up here. Now, the game doesn't do a great job of explaining what to do next. Now, obviously, you can click play, and then you go into a match, right? But there's a lot to this menu, and we're going to break all of that stuff down. So first things first, squadding up. This game is a 3-player game, or you can have a squad, of 3 people or 3 players. So you can squad up with 2 others. If you want to send friend requests, you can't just send your gamer tag. They have an identifier called a discriminator that they add onto the end of your gamer tag, and people have struggled to find this. So here's how that works. Click on socials down on the bottom right, and then you will see your name. And if you click on it or right click on it, you will be able to bring up where it says show discriminator. Just hit that. There's your discriminator number at the end. And what you will need to share is your gamer tag, hashtag, and then that 4-digit number. You'll need to share all of that with other people to be able to add them as a friend. Now, when you're going to squad up, you can go out in divisions of 3. 3-person division. You can go solo, you can go duo, you can go as 3, you can do fill squad, non-fill, as to be expected from any other game like this. Over here on the right side, there's a little tiny plus next to this. The first one is you. The next little plus is if you want to add somebody, you just click on people and then you can invite them to party. And off they go if they want to join up with you. This is where you do fill squad as well, and then hit play, and you're going to build your loadout and get started. Now let's talk about your inventory. There's a lot to do here. So here we go. Down here on the bottom left, and on PC you press tab. On my controller, it's the middle touchpad button. Pulls up your inventory. Now your inventory is very, very in-depth. There's a lot to this, right? First things first, let's talk about your stash. This is the left-hand side. Your stash is going to be all of everything that's in there. There's a number of filters you can use to go through it. The stash is limited in size, but you can expand it, which is this button up here, expand stash size. And there are multiple expansions. They cost more and more and more and more and more credits as you work your way through the game. So once you sell things, you can expand the stash to make it bigger. If it gets full, you either need to sell items, get rid of them, recycle them, or expand the stash. When it comes to recycling, people have often said, they're like, hey, I wish I knew what this recycled into. I'm afraid to click recycle because I don't know what I'm going to get for it. Well, click recycle, and then it will tell you exactly what you're going to get for it. If you're going to get the very base level components out of something, I would recommend probably selling it and not recycling it. Sometimes you want these things, but like wires and plastic parts, the green ones, maybe gray ones, your chicken will get them for you. We'll explain that later. So maybe don't recycle into those and just take the sale, but that's up to you. Now, how does your loadout work? There's a lot of different parts here, and this is worth breaking down. The first block here is your augment. Your augment, if you do a free loadout class, the free loadout augment goes here. You can't carry anything else, and you just go into the game with nothing except whatever the base free loadout is. We'll talk more about that in a minute. You also can get these green or blue or purple augments that can go there instead. There are different versions. One is a combat augment, there is a looting augment, and then there is a tactical augment. The combat and tactical ones allow you to carry medium shields and light shields. The looting one allows you to carry light shields only, but if you pay attention on the backpack side, you're going to see that the combat and tactical offer different amounts of slots in different places. So combat is going to be 16 backpack slots, 4 quick use slots. The tactical is 5 quick use slots and only 15 backpack slots. The looting one is 4 quick use, but 18 backpack slots. However, again, the trade-off is you can't take a medium shield. You can only take a light shield, but you can do more looting. So early on, makes a lot of sense. Maybe do looting so that you can get more stuff. Depends on your mission and your objective. All of these come with a safe pocket. This safe pocket is a one particular item that you can pick up and put in there. And even if you don't exfil successfully, if you get killed in the game, you get to keep that item. This is an important thing to pay attention to and make sure it will autofill in the game if you're not careful, and it doesn't select the best item. So you're going to need to make sure you put the item in there that you want in game. So that's augments. The next thing is shields. Now, shields are... Let me equip some things here. Let's see. Nope. All right. Now, this is where your augment goes. This is where your shields go. There's light, medium, and heavy shields. I'm not sure exactly what the good shield is called. I don't have it yet. But the shields have a couple things to them. They do a certain amount of damage reduction. Medium shields adds weight, which is going to lower your movement speed a little bit. And then all shields have durability, as do augments, as do weapons. So you have to make sure you repair them, because if you don't, they will break and then you will lose them. Repairing is very cheap. You come in here or in this menu to repair things. In my case, with mouse and keyboard, I right click on this and hit repair. It's very cheap and simple. I just hit repair. It uses 4 plastic parts, which are very prevalent in the game. Now my shield is repaired. Different weapons. You can put any pair of weapons that you have into these different slots. Within the weapons, you can do a number of things. You can right click on them to repair, as mentioned. You can also upgrade them. We'll list the resources that you need to upgrade, and then you just hit upgrade and you'll move them up to different levels. You can see the stats and how they might change. The other thing that you can do is add a different modifications to the weapon. So if you would happen to have a muzzle mod, you can click on this. It'll show any that I have. I can click here. It'll show any that I have, which I don't have any of. Oh, wrong button. You can also modify this gun. This one is that one that I actually really like early on. It's not like an entry-level gun, but it is the low-level entry gun, the Anvil. Really powerful. It's a revolver, so it's like 6 shots pretty quickly, and they're really, really effective against the small drones. Also PvP. So I like this gun. I think that the kettle is underrated. So another good one. These are good if they're leveled up to like 3 or 4. The other one that I like is, again, base level entry guns, is the Pharaoh. If you upgrade the Pharaoh, it's a single shot heavy ammo weapon, and it's really good for taking down drones. So just little fun facts. Now, when it comes to your inventory and how you manage it, we talked about it being able to fill up and you could recycle things. I would pay a lot of attention to what things recycle down into and what the items tell you about themselves. So if you hover over an item like this one, it's going to tell you used to craft energy clips and surge shield rechargers. If those are not things that you think you're going to be crafting, then you might want to sell them. But early on, I would sell very little of anything that is anything other than the base items that you get tons of. For example, wires, right? We're going to get a ton of wires. We're going to get a ton of arc power cells. We're going to get a ton of chemicals. We're going to get a ton of fabric, metal parts, less so, plastic parts, a lot of. So those things that you have tons and tons of, I would sell. And then I would sell anything that ends up with a little diamond next to it, which is a trinket, if you have to. But I would pay attention to them, because some of them, for example, the cat bed, is actually one that you end up needing later. So whole videos to be made on this. The trinkets probably can be sold and not super useful, although there might be some unique ones for upgrades that matter. All the other items on here, they will break down into lower level things, but I would really pay attention. If you see like the snitch canner, it says can be recycled into arc alloy and can be thrown to call in arc. So we can throw this and it will call in arc. Maybe if you get into PvP battle, you can throw that at the other guys and then distract them with arc attacking them as well, right? So interesting little nuggets to some of these different items. All of this is worth knowing and worth paying attention to. Recycling is a good way to get rid of things. Selling is a good way to get rid of things, depending on what it is that you need. Moving on from our inventory, let's go to the workshop. Now, in the workshop, you're going to meet Scrappy. Scrappy is a rooster. Clearly, he was misnamed. They called him Scrappy. This is Hey Hey. I shall henceforth call him Hey Hey. I hope that you do the same thing. Hey Hey, boat snack, if you will, is your little buddy that will go every time you go into battle. He will, in the background, collect this junk for you. So, especially as you level him up, you don't need to collect metal parts, fabric, plastic parts, chemicals, rubber parts, or seeds necessarily, because he's going to do it for you. So the way that you do this, every time you go into battle and you exfil or not, you come here and you can hit claim. He will have filled up with some amount of these things, and you can level him up. When you level him up, that's training. When you click on this, it's going to give you different objectives of resources you need to level him up. And as he gets more highly leveled, he will just get more stuff each battle for you. So take care of Hey Hey. Hey Hey, I'll take care of you. Keep an eye on him. Now, in the workshop, there will be a number of workbenches. To start, you will only have the workbench. You can add gunsmith, explosive station, medical lab, gear bench, utility station. All of these are interesting. Workbench, you can do basic looting, augment, a medium shield, couple simple weapons, shield rechargers, these are helpful, and then ammo. I would highly recommend making ammo instead of buying ammo, making bandages instead of buying bandages, in my opinion, so far in what I've seen in the game. Now, the other benches, you can do things like the gunsmith, you can make different guns, and you can upgrade this, you can level it up. So you click on level up, and you're going to need very specific things. If you want to track these in game to make them easier to know when you find them while looting that they're important, click on track resources. Once you do this, if I find any rusted gears, they'll have a little eyeball on the top corner of their logo that says, this is a thing you're looking for. Fun fact. You can upgrade the gunsmith, the explosives bench, you obviously make explosives, the medical lab, you make medical things, the gear bench, you can do a couple different augments, including the high level augments. The utility station, you can do a few different things. To me, the most interesting thing out of all this is this, the Raider hatch keys. Raider hatch keys allow you to exfil in a different way that is much more stealthy than the normal big, loud, blaring exfil that if you haven't experienced, you will, and you'll figure out how stressful it is to do. The most important thing here is this, the refiner. The refiner allows you to take smaller junk items and refine them into other items that you need for upgrades, crafting, repairs, etc. And if, for example, these mechanical components, which you need to do all types of things, including weapon upgrades and making bullets, etc., you need these, and you won't find them very often while you're raiding. But what you can do is get metal parts and rubber parts and craft a whole bunch of them. So you can come in here and craft as many as you want. This is a super helpful thing. It is called the refiner. You can level up the refiner. So this is a good one to track the resources on and work on leveling it up. That is the workbench. Now let's go to Raider. When we click on Raider, you're going to do a couple different things. One, you can see the skill tree. Every time you level up, I'm a level 17 right now, you unlock one skill point that you can use in here. Now, I don't know yet which one of these is like the best or the OP skill tree to go on. Let me know in the comments if you guys have an opinion on which one is best. I am currently pursuing this. Back on your feet, when you're critically hurt, your health regenerates until a certain limit. I feel like that could be really useful, so I'm working down that. Now, you'll notice it says requires 36 points in conditioning, which means even if I work straight down this line, which would only take presumably 5 points, right? That won't work because these bigger ones are locked and you have to hit certain levels. These two I had to hit, just like on this side, 15 points. So now I'm at 15 points in conditioning, which means I can use one of these. This is the first one I'm going to do, Survivor Stamina. Then I'm going to work up this line. I'll fill in whatever here until I can buy this one. That's my plan right now. I don't know if it's a good plan. We'll see. So know that you can do that. The next thing is customization. This is where you do all the fun outfit things and change emotes, etc. You can do some things with Scrappy or Hey Hey, if you will. All good stuff there. Now, trials. Now, this unlocks at level 15, I believe. It might have been 12. I think it was 15. Trials, this is something you need to know about if you're playing Arc Raiders. Trials are refreshing every week. there are going to be certain events that you can do. And with benchmarks, so if this is, for example, damage hornets, if you earn points and can hit 1,000, you get a reward, an uncommon reward. If you can hit 2,500 points, you will get a rare reward. If you can hit 4,000, you will get an epic reward. There are 5 of these to do. They refresh every week. This is a really important thing to focus on because you're going to get good items and you should be paying attention to this. So keep your eyes out on the trials. There's also leaderboards and ranks and some other things in here. No, I'm not awesome. I'm just some guy that plays a little bit. The next thing is projects. Now, projects I have not unlocked yet, but I understand a little bit about this. The way that this works, it's going to be a heavy resource item. You come in here and you have to dump a bunch of stuff into it. You're trying to build and develop what's called a caravan, which essentially this set looks to me like the COD like prestige system, sort of, where once you build the caravan, your character will be able to leave the settlement or whatever. And when they do that, then they will come back and you will have reset a bunch of skills, but you will have like some perks or bonuses, and then you'll be like, you know, whatever they call it, prestige 2, right? Or whatever. So more to come on that in a future video. Now, the next thing that's really important is the traders. The traders, you need to come in here and click on all of them, especially if they're lit up yellow, and you will find that they up here on the top have quests.
Have you checked out that collapsed highway yet?
You have to accept the quests and you have to accept the rewards. Make sure you get all their quests all the time and then go run these down for extra bonuses and rewards, which will unlock more things you can do. Celeste is an interesting one because she trades in seeds. And seeds, hey, can collect for you, and you're going to find a ton of them. And you can get some really difficult to find things. For example, tons and tons of metal parts, which, again, these are good for bullets and really helpful to get a bunch of. Some of the things that she has are quantity limited and time limited. So, for example, heavy gun parts. If I click on this, it says up here, it limited stock. It refreshes in 3 hours and 53 minutes. So once I bought them, there's a refresh time, and that is going to be on repeat. Make sure that you are getting the things that you think you need or that you need a bunch of. As you start to buy and do upgrades and whatnot, you'll see what's important. I think those are important, so I trade seeds for those. The other ones in here, Shawnee has binoculars, which I have found no real use for yet, and the Raider hatch keys, which again, different way to exfil. Not a bad thing to keep in your safe pocket, just to have an extra way to get out. It's quiet and definitely a lot more effective and efficient escape than the normal hatch. The gun shop obviously does gun things and modifications. The clinic, now this is interesting. We talked earlier about free loadouts. If you will notice, there are 2 of each of the green loadouts here. That's because 1 you can buy with coins and 1 you can buy with a free loadout augment. If you go into a match with the free loadout and you successfully exfil, you will leave with the free loadout augment. Come here to Lance in the clinic and trade your free loadout augment for green augments, which you can either recycle, sell, or use, most likely use, especially early in the game. So be advised, every time you exfil with the free loadout, or if you snatch somebody's free loadout that you acquire from them, if you will, you can come here and trade it for green loadouts that you can use or sell in the future. Apollo, grenades, obvious. There you go. The next thing in the menu is the decks. Now the decks, this is sort of like a battle pass, it seems like to me. You're going to have a number of different missions you can do over here. They have a time limit, and then you have to unlock different pages of the decks. Now, you have to fully unlock page 1 to get to page 2. You unlock them by completing those little objectives and then getting these, the blue cred. Cred can trade for items. The reason that I think it's important to come in here is obviously you can get some cool, you know, different camo or whatever, you know, for your character. But these, I'm coming here for these. The Raider tokens, this is the actual currency that people spend money on to have in game, which to buy much nicer things. And you can get these from the battle pass level type thing, which they call the Raider deck. So I will be focusing on these objectives listed here. Trying to do these things, they call them feats. each number of feet that I accomplished gives me the cred, which I can come in here and then complete different pages and try to work my way down. So that is what I'm going to be working on with this. The last thing is store. When you click on store, this is where you bring, your raider tokens. So you come in here with raider tokens and you can buy these. I'm positive, like every game, they will add a bajillion different cool sets that you can buy in here. So you want to save up on those, and I wouldn't waste them until you figure out the things that you want. Okay, now that we've gone through everything in the menu, let's go into a battle. How does that work? First, you click on, well, first you make a squad, decide if you're going to fill or not, and then click play. Now you're going to have to pick a map. Now, I have unlocked several of the maps, not all of them. There is a practice range, which I actually haven't gone to. I think Dam Battlegrounds is good enough to practice on. This is like the intro level. Now, there are night raids that are available, and then there are a couple different maps. Some of the missions and objectives you'll need to go to different maps on later. But Dam Battlegrounds is kind of like the good base level, not too many ARC, reasonable PvP interactions, a good place to go. So you come to this, pick your selection, hit confirm. Now we're in our loadout. Now we have a couple choices. On the top right, on the top, we can click free loadout. There is our free loadout augment. Nothing else. Hit ready up. Off we go. Or we can go to custom loadout. Now we bring all of our own things in. Remember, this is an exfiltration game. Anything you take in, if you don't exfil, is gone. So be smart and be tactical about what you take with you. I would highly recommend that you take one, if not two weapons. Make sure you take the right ammo for those guns. You can click on a gun and it'll tell you right here, hover over it. It says ammo type, heavy ammo. I have heavy ammo. I found so far 40 to 60 rounds of heavy ammo seems to do pretty well for me. I'll take one stack basically of each type of ammo to go in. Now, if I'm on light ammo, I usually take a stack and a half, which is like 150 rounds, depending on what those guns are. This one, I don't have the right ammo for. See, I have medium ammo. If I try to ready up, it will actually tell me, oh, whoa, you don't have the right ammo. Thanks. So make sure you fix that. I would take ammo. Let's see, an augment, the proper shield, your weapons with whatever upgrades you want on them, the proper ammo, and then over here, I would take the following. Can I see it? Sometimes it glitches if you've gone through the menu too much. I would make sure that I take a shield recharger. I thought I saw some. I don't know. Okay, so you're going to want bandages of some kind. Here it is. You're going to want a shield recharger. And so this is a way to redo shields. This is a way to redo bandages. And then some kind of throwables is really helpful to open up a battle. Whether it's smoke, whether it's explosives, there's a ton of interesting grenades. There's gas grenades and trip grenades and remote triggered grenades and all sorts of stuff. So find your way through them, try them all out. Some kind of a throwable, some kind of heals, some kind of shield heals, ammo for your weapons. Make sure you're using an augment, at least a free loadout augment, but preferably, I think the looting augment's really, really smart early, but whatever you want. But add those extra slots to your backpack. And then once you have chosen those things, ready up, and off you go. Oh, if you're still here, one more thing. Bumblebee tuna. If you don't know what that is, let me explain. I am trying to single-handedly start a trend, and I want to see this happen. We need to create a code word in Arc Raiders, and the code word is Bumblebee tuna. Think pirate parlay. If you run into a PvP encounter, you open up voice chat and ask the password. If they say Bumblebee tuna, then they know the password, and we are required to be kind. If they don't know the password, smoke them. If someone calls Bumblebee tuna to you and you do not honor it, then shame on you, and they have full right and authority to make you pay for that. So, Bumblebee tuna, put it out there. Let's get it done. Guys, I'm Paint You Fast. I stream this game and other games live every single day, 10 p.m. to midnight Central Standard Time. My stream is a positive vibes only stream. We make all of our own music. The stream is interactive. We also play with our viewers. I read all of my comments. I thank all of my gifters. And if you're watching the stream on TikTok, we actually have it set up so that you can do a bunch of things and interact with the game. You can make me drop my weapons. You can play different songs or different sound effects. You can make my gun shoot and get me in trouble when I don't want that to happen. So lots of fun things. I really, really, really would love it if that little red circle is lit up. If you come hang out in the live and let me know that you saw this video. If you think this was helpful, please subscribe, comment and let me know. And let me know what I missed. What else do I need to add? And what would you like to see me break down next? Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the game.